Good evening, I'm Shivani Chamjong and let's begin with the top stories. Villages in Dhading and Gorkha at high risk of landslides after torrential downpour. Lawmakers demand immediate relief and rehabilitation for flood and landslide victims. At least 30 people killed and 50 others wounded after Taliban bombers attack on Afghan police convoy outside the capital, Kabul. And quarter-final fixture of the Euro Cup kicks off tonight with the opening clash between Portugal and Poland. The residents of Cheprang in Dhading's VDC have been surrounded by landslides that fell from all directions due to torrential rainfall. The police said that altogether 21 people from 6 households have been entrapped in the mudslide. Other neighbouring settlements are also facing the risk of landslide. The village is located at a distance of 3 days' walk from the district headquarters. The Nepal Army helicopters, which were sent for the rescue mission, have returned back to Dhading due to poor weather conditions. Meanwhile, 4 temporary settlements in Suri VDC Ward number 3, located in northern Dolakha, have been buried in the landslides triggered by continuous downpour. 15 houses have been displaced in the region due to the landslides. Likewise, 15 families are under high risk of landslides in Suri VDC Ward number 5. A police inspector stationed in Dolakha said that efforts to rescue the residents to a safer location are currently underway. The landslide has also caused damages to 50 kilowatt Kulung River hydropower project. Now, the April earthquake last year did not just destroy the houses of the locals, but it also put the entire village at the risk of landslides. Victims in Kirauja, who are currently taking refuge at shelters next to the landslide debris, are thinking of a secure shelter rather than a place to construct their new house. Around 113 families are currently living in a nearby forest after landslide resumed since Tuesday night. A total of 274 families across different wards in Kirauja VDC were displaced by the landslide, which had swept the village following the earthquake. The victims said that they are compelled to live close to the landslide debris as there is no safe place nearby. The technical team which observed the village after the earthquake had suggested for resettlement at a safer location. However, no process has been initiated regarding their plight. Despite the passing away of a year since the earthquake, resettlement is yet to proceed because of bureaucratic hassles, to the dismay of earthquake victims. Now, lawmakers have demanded the government to provide immediate relief and rehabilitation for the flood and landslide victims. Speaking at the legislature parliament today, the lawmakers accused the government of turning a blind eye to the plight of flood and landslide victims. They said that the government fails to take steps to mitigate the woes of the flood and landslide victims every single year. The lawmakers also accused the government of failing to take concrete steps to hold talks with the agitating Madheshi Morcha. They have urged the government to form a separate committee led by Speaker of the Parliament to look into the case of stalled dialogue with the Morcha. It's time now for a short break. For more news, stay with us. Welcome back. The Nepal Open University Bill 2015, introduced by the government, has been approved by the Legislature Parliament. The meeting of the Legislature Parliament held today approved the bill with majority votes. Approval of the bill has opened doors for operation of open universities in Nepal for the first time. The government had introduced the Open University Bill with the objective of providing access to education for everyone. According to the bill, students inside and outside Nepal will be able to get enrolled at the Open University. Expressing their opinions on the bill, parliamentarians stressed on the need for the government to expand the reach of information and technologies in rural areas for effective implementation of the concept of Open University. It's now time for our segment Public Pulse, where you SMS us with your opinions. What should be done to increase paddy production? Your options are A. Mechanization in agriculture, B. Regular supply of seeds and fertilizers, and C. Dependable irrigation. The voting for that question is on. Type NEWS, select your options A, B or C and send it to 8080 to share your opinion with us. Now, on international update, Taliban bombers have attacked an Afghan police convoy outside the capital Kabul, killing at least 30 people and wounding 50 others. 2 bombs hit a convoy of buses carrying graduates from a ceremony on the city's western outskirts. The bombing was claimed by the Taliban and follows an attack on a bus just over a week that killed 14 people. The victims in the 20th June attack included Nepali security guards working for the Canadian embassy. In the latest violence, Interior Ministry spokesman said that there has been 2 blasts targeting the cadets. Officials are still trying to confirm the precise number of casualties, but witnesses and sources describe a scene of carnage. Kabul's police chief is at the scene of the attack, some 20 kilometers west of the capital. And with that, we'll take another short break. For more news, stay with us. Final fixture of the Euro Cup kicks off tonight with the opening clash between Portugal and Poland. The match is slated to kick off at 12:45 a.m. Nepali time. Earlier, Portugal had scripted a narrow 1-0 victory over Croatia, while Poland had edged Switzerland in penalty shootout to make it to the last 8. The match is also being seen as a clash between Portuguese star striker Cristiano Ronaldo and Polish striker Robert Lewandowski. This is the third encounter between the two teams in a big international sporting event. The last time they met was in 1986 World Cup, which Poland had won by 1-0. However, Portugal had defeated Poland 4-0 in the group stage match of 2002 World Cup. Meanwhile, the last international friendly between the two in 2012 had ended in a tie. Meanwhile, Brazil has announced its football team for the upcoming Rio Olympics. 18 players, including Neymar, are included in the list released by the coach of the Olympic team, Rogério Michel. Neymar, Rafinha and Douglas Costa have been named in Brazil's squad for their home Olympics. After he sat out of the Copa America Centenario, Barcelona striker Neymar is one of Seleção's 3 overage players for the Under-23 tournament. The other 2 overage players are Bayern Munich winger Douglas Costa and 37-year-old goalkeeper Fernando Praz. Brazil are hoping to win their first football gold medal at the Olympics, which begins on the 4th of August. Rogério Michel's side are placed in Group A alongside South Africa, Iraq and Denmark. And before we wrap up, here's a look at the top stories once again. Villages in Dhading and Gorkha at high risk of landslides after torrential rains. Lawmakers demand immediate relief and rehabilitation for flood and landslide victims. At least 30 people killed and 50 others wounded after Taliban bombers attack an Afghan police convoy outside the capital, Kabul. And quarter-final fixture of the Euro Cup kicks off tonight with the opening clash between Portugal and Poland. And that's all for the moment. We'll be back with more news in English at 10:30 in the evening. Keep watching Gandhipur Television. Goodbye.